Alright, welcome back everybody. Today we're going to talk about dealing with uncertainty in medical school. So doctors are notorious for taking the safe option, the stable job with good security and a path to a quote-unquote happy life. On paper, the process of becoming a physician is pretty simple. It's obviously not easy, but it is simple. In the sense that there's a few steps that you have to follow and do well at, and you have a pretty good shot of making it. So first, you have to go through college, get a high GPA, a high MCAT score, and take care of your extracurricular activities. That gets you into medical school, where you have to pass, get a high USMLE score, which will help you along with other extracurriculars to match to the residency of your choice. Residency is basically where you actually learn how to become the type of doctor you want to become. So you get through that, and then after that you have to find a job, and then basically you're all set as long as you don't do anything to ruin it. Now, like I said, obviously this process isn't as easy as it is simple. There's uncertainty that only grows as the process goes on. For example, as a college student, all you really care about is getting accepted to medical school, and not much else matters. As a medical student, it's pretty similar. It's more or less just about matching to residency, and not much else matters. Again, even though on paper this process seems simple, the thing people seem to forget is that as you're progressing through school, as a person, you're also growing into an adult. Your personal life doesn't pause for you, and this can be a source of frustration, anxiety, and uncertainty. You can start having doubts and anxiety about the future and where the chips are going to fall. There end up being a lot more questions than answers as you move through. What residency will you match to? Where will you match? Where will you get a job? Where will you meet your significant other? When will you have kids? In particularly difficult stretches of medical school, the question can even become, why am I doing this at all? Is it even worth it? Now, these questions and a sense of uncertainty is very common and normal among medical students, and there are a few things that you can do to address it. Now, the first thing to understand is that uncertainty is life. We all like to have plans and grand visions of how our life's going to turn out and who we want to be. We expect to do X correctly so we can get to Y. And the reality is that we are just specks of dust on a round ball floating in space. And when you put it in terms like that, it really puts things into perspective, in the sense that you realize we don't really have as much control of our lives as we think. Things happen that nobody could ever expect. Events don't turn out how you want them to. And even though you have all the plans in the world, more often than not, things don't go exactly to plan. For example, nobody expected the whole situation the world had in 2020, but it was a life-changing event for everybody involved. So you have to learn how to deal with this uncertainty without letting it take control of you. Constantly worrying and stressing definitely won't make the situation any better. Now, the next thing is to know what you want. Even though we don't have control over everything, you have to have control over where you're headed. It's hard to get somewhere if you don't know where you're going. You got into medical school because you made it a main goal of yours and you did everything you could to accomplish it. So when it comes to the other aspects of your life, you need to do the same thing. Regardless of what other people are doing, what do you want from your life? Whether it's relationships, having kids or not, what type of doctor you want to be, where you want to live, it's up to you to decide what you're looking for. You need to have a North Star to aim at in order to justify the actions that you're taking towards it. So what you have to do is sit down by yourself with no distractions and ask yourself the tough questions. Write down everything you want in every area of your life and promise yourself that everything you do will be in line with these goals. You're only adding to your own uncertainty and stress when you're not aiming for a specific thing and just going with the flow. Before you know it, a lot of time's going to pass, and unfortunately a lot of people end up in a position where now they don't have as much control as they did had they just addressed the situation earlier on. So again, you have to know what you want. And that doesn't guarantee that you'll get it, but at least it gives you a path to go towards. And now that you know what you want, the next thing is to control what you can. You can't control whether or not you're going to match to a certain program or live somewhere, but what you can control is your effort in schools and on electives so you can get a better shot at that residency. You can focus on the habits and actions that you have to take to achieve each of your goals rather than looking up to check for results every other day. For example, it's like when people want to lose weight. You can focus on eating healthier instead of comparing your body to an Instagram model every day, hoping that you'll look like her in a week. If you want a relationship, focus on putting yourself out there in environments where the type of person you want would be. When you start doing the right things in each area of your life, you seem to get luckier and things start going your way. So put yourself in situations to succeed and just focus on the effort part of the equation. Now that you know what you want and you're doing the things to get that, one way to shortcut the process or make it a lot easier and more efficient is to find mentors. Uncertainty and this existential dread is a common theme for everybody. It's not just you going through it. Mentors are literally people who have what you want, have been through what you're going through, and are hopefully willing to help you out. Finding the right mentors can help you immensely in every area of your life. If you're having trouble with school or deciding what you want from your career, look for upper year students or residents or attending physicians that you can sit down with and talk to. Ask them how they got through these feelings and determine for yourself if their career is what you would want. Just because somebody has a career you want doesn't mean they have the life you want. It's rare to find a mentor that has it all, but good for you if you can. You want to look for people who have the career you want, the type of relationship you want, whatever it may be, and then ask them what they did to get there and what you can do to improve your situation in that area of your life. And if they're willing to give you that time, then ask a lot of questions and make sure you listen. By listening to mentors, you're going to avoid the needless mistakes and make your path way less bumpy to wherever you're headed. But all in all, the point is that dealing with uncertainty comes from taking action towards specific set goals. Once you know what you want and you're taking actions towards it, it's a lot easier to cut out the distractions and stop focusing on what everybody else is doing when you already have a clear set goal of where you're headed. So we hope this video and podcast helped you guys out. As always, feel free to reach out to us and let us know what you want to hear about next.
Thank you for listening to today's podcast and watching the video. Please subscribe, leave a rating, and share us with your friends. Together, we will end physician burnout and suicide by educating medical students and health professionals. Find us on all social media platforms or email us at pathofadoctor@gmail.com.